Aloha and welcome to this timeless pick a pile tarot reading. Take a deep breath and allow your intuition to guide you on which pile is meant for you today. If you cannot just pick one, that is okay. You can claim more than one reading in this video. So take a second and look at pile 1, 2, and 3. As your intuition guides you into the pile that's meant for you today, I will let you know that if you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can always go to themagicsiren.com. I leave the most recent promo code in the description box below. You'll also find links to our Patreon and our weekly podcast. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our Pick a Pile tarot reading. If you have not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing and liking this video. Join our YouTube Ohana. Now let's get into it. If you chose pile 1, this is your tarot reading. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start to shuffle and ask universe and spirit to bring forth the messages, insight, and guidance that you need to hear at this time. We're going to do a 3-card spread. Then we're going to pull a love oracle, a general oracle, and an affirmation that you can use over the next 7 to 14 days. So let's go ahead and shuffle. We're looking for 3 cards. I'm asking universe and spirit to bring forth those messages, insight, and guidance that you need to hear at this time. We have the Ace of Swords coming out. We're looking for 2 more cards. I'm asking universe, spirit, and tarot for 2 more cards. Let's finish this shuffle and see what card flipped. We have the Knight of Wands in reversal. Let's go ahead and get that final card. We're looking for 1 more card for this pile 1 group. All of the people that chose pile 1, let's get their messages that they need to hear at this time. We have our final card. It did flip somewhere here. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. We have the King of Swords in reversal. So off the bat, you can see that we have 2 cards showing out in their reversal positions for this reading. Now, when we get reversals in a tarot reading, it represents something that has already happened, or there might be a slight challenge or a slight obstacle that is preventing us from seeing these cards in their upright position. So we will talk about each one of those reversals as we move through the reading. The very first card that we are seeing here is the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords really represents a new chapter or a new beginning when it comes to the air element, which is all about analytics, logics, communications, and really just thinking outside the box. This is the universe handing you a new sword, and that sword can represent a conversation that maybe needs to be had. This could be a new idea that we are being asked to explore. This could be something that really starts to get our gears going. All the ace cards within the tarot deck, there are 4 of them, represent that new chapter or that new cycle or beginning to that suit. And like I mentioned, the sword is about the suit, excuse me. I'm getting tongue-tied. So maybe some of you have had a conversation that we need to have, but we don't know how to start it. Maybe we tried to start the conversation and things kind of just went off topic. Maybe some of you have had a hard time with your throat chakra not being totally open. And today's theme across our entire video was blue tarot decks, and the color blue does represent our throat chakra. So that might also be something to make note of here. But outside of all that, all of the swords suit, it does really represent that energy of air element, which is Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So some of you might have air in your chart. And if you do have air in your chart, pay attention to what planet it's in. Every planet rules and represents a different area in our life. So if you have air in your chart, and let's say you have Aquarius in your Venus, well, maybe in your relationships and connections with other people, we need to highlight our communications with each other. Maybe there are some different ideas that we need to share. Maybe you have Gemini in your Mars sign. Well, your Mars sign rules matters of your job and your career. Maybe there is something here that needs to be highlighted within that. Maybe there's an idea for a business that you've had, and now is the time to explore those things. So, we're starting off this reading with the Ace of Swords, and that is your universe and spirit team telling you that you are in a space right now where you have a lot of new ideas. Don't be afraid to explore them. Any conversations that you've been meaning to have, now is the time to have them. And don't be afraid to maybe open up and think outside the box. How can we work smarter, not harder? What is a different way to get to the end goal without having to take such rigid steps to get there? Then we have the Knight of Wands, and this is your first reversal showing out in the reading. Now, the Knight of Wands in the upright represents this energy of forward movement with excitement, passion, and confidence. The Wands suit is the suit of fire element, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now, some of you might have fire in your chart. And if you do have fire in your chart, with this being in reversal, it might say that you're having a hard time tapping into that area of your life. You might be having a hard time finding forward momentum, confidence, or passion in that area of your life. And again, go and look at your birth chart and see where you might have fire. The Knight of Wands, he moves forward very quickly, and he does so with his head and chest held high. He has a lot of confidence, he has a lot of excitement, and he has a lot of passion moving forward. Now, we do see this in the reversal, and it does mean that there is a slight challenge or obstacle there. I don't think that this is something that's already happened for you if you chose this pile. That challenge or obstacle is saying that you might be having a difficult time stepping into the Knight of Wands energy. You might be having a hard time finding confidence to be able to move forward with a new idea. You might be having a hard time finding motivation to have a conversation that needs to be had. You might be having a hard time in general with just connecting with your inner fire element. Now, if you don't have any fire in your chart, you can incorporate fire into your life with candles, with different spices in your food, eating red, orange, or yellow foods, wearing red, orange, or yellow, maybe just doing things around you that make you feel a little bit more confident. It does help you connect in and tap in with your inner fire element. But seeing this in the reversal after that Ace of Swords is saying that there is some sort of lack here when it comes to the forward momentum, the forward motivation, confidence, or excitement with a new idea, with a conversation, with, again, that new opportunity that your universe and spirit team are handing you of that Ace of Swords energy. Now, you do have the King of Swords in reversal. So we have two sword cards coming out here. So the majority of you are sitting in air element right now. You're sitting in this element of having to highlight new ideas that you're having, the analytics of your projects, your life, different things that you are planning or holding space for. There is a highlight of just the element of air in your life. So take a moment and look at everything that you have, all of your projects, all of your jobs, your responsibilities, your relationships, and even your relationship to yourself. Look at all of those things. Ask, are there conversations that I have been avoiding? Are there ideas that I have had that I haven't explored yet? Are there things that I need to share with the world? Is there something about speaking my truth that I have been afraid to say? Ask yourself some of these bigger picture air element questions in all the different aspects of your life and allow yourself to speak your truth. The King of Swords is the Master of the Swords suit. Now, there are 4 kings in each tarot deck, just like there are 4 knights and there are 4 aces. And the king cards represent being the masters of their suit. Now, we mentioned that this is the suit of swords, again, suit of air energy. And some of you might have air in your chart again, or some of you might be dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, and you might not be on the same page. You might be having a hard time conversating with this person, and maybe they're just a little bit too blunt. Maybe they say things a little bit too quickly, or maybe they're completely closed off to you and you have to pull out your sword to cut away the obstacle to have the conversation. Either way, this Master of the Sword suit, he is not afraid to speak his truth. He's not afraid to say what's on his mind. He's not afraid to use his power of communications, ideas, analytics, logics to his best benefit. He is the leader when it comes to speaking the truth. And this is in the reversal, which again is another obstacle or challenge that you might be facing at this time. Allow yourself to step into your inner confidence, your inner Knight of Wands, and get confident about your story. Get confident about your truth. Don't be afraid to speak up and say, hey, this is my idea. Don't be afraid to speak up and say, hey, this conversation needs to happen. Maybe this is reaching out to somebody new and you're nervous of having a fear of rejection. Don't be afraid of that. Allow yourself to say, I know who I am. I know my truth. I know my story, and I am going to get confident. I am going to embrace and unlock my Knight of Wands energy. I'm going to move forward with these conversations with excitement, passion, confidence. I'm going to get motivated to move forward in this next chapter and season of my journey. And I'm going to do so with unwavering wisdom and a loud, clear voice. That is what the King of Swords is all about. He is not afraid to speak his truth. He's not afraid to say it loud. And he's not afraid to use that sword to cut away the BS that might be standing between him and his inner flame of that Knight of Wands. Now, I do want to go ahead and get a couple of oracle cards for all of you. Let's start with the general oracle cards and see what else is being layered into this reading. We have our first card. Let's go ahead and see what it is. We have body work. Your life purpose involves body work such as massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. Now, this card comes out for those of you that are considering a career change. Maybe body work has something to do with that. So take this as that little, cosmic thumbs up or green light that you are being guided into doing something that has to do with maybe massage therapy or energy healing, physical therapy, something of that nature. But this card coming out with in combination with everything that we've talked about, for those of you that feel maybe a stagnant energy, for those of you that have maybe getting a little bit tongue tied when it comes to having the moment to speak your truth and start the conversation, move your body. Get the energy physically moving through your body. Maybe there is some chakra work that needs to be done. Maybe we need a little bit of energy healing. Maybe we need to take a look at our breath work. There's so much air energy in this reading. There's a lot of blue in this reading that really does represent our emotions being connected to the air that we breathe. If you are not using breath work on a regular basis, this is your sort of moment or your confirmation to start doing so. It's your sign to start your breath work journey. Take some deep breaths in the morning. Find those different rhythms that work for you, whether it's 4-4 breathing or 8-6 breathing, whatever it is. This also just represents physical therapy as a whole, making sure that we're taking time to tend to our physical body amongst everything else. So your physical body, whether it's the air that you're breathing, the nutrients you're putting into it, or the exercise that we're being asked to do, it is very important at this time for you. If you can connect with your body in all aspects, mind, body, and soul, it will be very easy for you to ignite that inner Knight of Wands flame and speak your truth as the King of Swords. Now let's go ahead and get a love oracle here. This love oracle can represent emotional connections and relationships in your life. It doesn't just have to be romantic love. This could be relationships with friends, with family, with coworkers, with ourselves, okay? So let's go ahead and see what comes out here. We are looking for a love oracle for the pile 1 choosers and observers. We're asking universe and spirit for a message in love and emotions. Let's go ahead and see what we have. We have children. Your love life is being affected by children. Now, this card can represent literal children. Maybe if you're watching this, you do have children, and children are being highlighted for you over the next few weeks here. And this energy does maybe have to do with speaking your truth when it comes to your children, allowing your children to be that inner light, to help you get motivated and to have that sort of excitement and passion when it comes to moving forward. For those of you that are trying to conceive, this card does kind of connect with the body work and that double air energy. If you've been having issues with fertility, There could be something here about getting your body moving, getting that stagnant energy flowing, looking at the things that you are nourishing your body with, and seeing if that has some sort of relation or connection to your fertility and wanting to bear children. For those of you that are in a relationship and love, this is also a sign to have the conversation about wanting to have kids. Whether you want to have kids or you don't want to have kids, getting on the same page with your romantic partner, this might be a moment for you to say, you know what, I have been meaning to have that conversation. Let me go ahead and use my Ace of Swords here, step into my King of Wands energy, and get the courage to say, you know what, I think I'm ready, that I do want to settle down and have children. Or maybe saying, I think I've decided that I don't really want to have kids, and getting on the same page about that. Now, outside of all of the children, like actual literal children, this card represents tending to our inner child as well. This children card says, it is time for us to take a look at who we truly are at our core. What did you used to enjoy when you were younger that made you feel absolutely free in this world? What were the things that made you feel carefree and happy? If you could go back to a moment in your childhood or in your early teens or early adult life, your inner child, what were some of those things? Did you love riding your bike around the block? Did you like dancing around in the rain? Did you want to become a singer or a dancer or a doctor or an astronaut? What are the dreams and the goals that you had in those younger years of your life? And did you achieve them? What are some of the bucket list items that you had when you were a teenager? Things you said you would always do. And did you get to do those things? The inner child card says that there is an opportunity here to reevaluate our day-to-day life and to add some of those bucket list items into our life. Maybe there are some things here that now that you're older, you have the opportunity to make it happen, and you have all that air energy, the energy again of speaking the truth and getting things started, and you have that Knight of Wands in reversal. Just because it's in reversal doesn't mean that we cannot connect to it and use it. Get confident that some of those dreams and goals that you had at a younger time of your life are still obtainable, and you can make that happen, especially with these new ideas and these outside of the box ways of thinking. Now, let's go ahead and get your affirmation that you can use for the next week or two. Curious to see what comes out. I really love using affirmations on a daily basis, and you might want to take a screenshot of this so you don't lose it. I have the power to change my life for the better. This is such a fun affirmation. I do like saying this every day before I start my day. When this one comes out for me for my 7 to 14 day affirmation challenge, I do like saying this before I start my day. I look myself in the mirror, look myself in the eye, and say, I have the power to change my life for the better. And you do too. Say this every day for at least the next 7 days, that you do have the power to change your life for the better. You do have the power with this Ace of Swords to think outside the box, to explore new ideas, to have new conversations that will lead to these sort of infinite possibilities. You do have the power to tap into your inner Knight of Wands and get motivated and get excited and allow that passion to drive you to this next chapter in your life. You do have the ability to be able to speak your truth and use your voice to create the dreams and reality and goals that you've always wanted, even when you were younger in your life. And if you're having a hard time believing it, and if you're having a hard time making it happen, connect with your body. Allow your body to be the top priority this week over the next 7 to 14 days. Do some breath work, get that energy moving, and allow yourself to put yourself on the top of your priority list. This has been a great reading for the pile one, and I hope that it resonated with you in some way, shape, or form. Now, if you did choose another pile as well, continue watching because we are getting ready to move on to pile two. But if you have not liked this video, please consider liking and please consider subscribing to the channel so you can see another pick a pile reading in the near future. Much aloha. Let's move on to pile two. If you chose pile two, this is your tarot reading. Let's go ahead and start shuffling and see what messages universe and spirit have for you at this time. We are going to ask universe and spirit to bring forth 3 cards here. We're looking for any insight, guidance, or advice that you need to hear. We're also going to do a love oracle as well as a general oracle, and then we'll also do an affirmation that you can use for the next 7 to 14 days. So let's go ahead and see what's coming through. You had 1 card flip out already. You have another one that flipped in here, and we'll take that in just a second. We have the Judgment card. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Let's go ahead and shuffle. We'll ask Universe and Spirit for one more card for the group two or pile two choosers and observers. You have a lot of cards coming out and you have a lot of bonus cards, so we are going to take them all. Let me go ahead and get the ones that flew off the table here. It was just one that flew off the table. Okay, let's go ahead and get them all in frame. Hopefully you'll be able to see all of them. There's a lot of bonus cards. So if you chose pile two today, there are a lot of messages that your spirit team and universe want you to know at this time. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. We will try and be fairly quick through all of these cards. First and foremost, we have Judgment, we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Five of Wands in reversal, the Chariot, the Knight of Cups, and then the Ace of Cups all the way down at the end there. Right off the bat, you can see you have two major arcana cards coming out, Judgment and the Chariot. When you get more than one major arcana card coming out in a single reading, it does represent this energy of big chapters closing and new cycles opening in multiple different areas of your life. The tarot deck as a whole represents the Fool's journey. It tells the story of the Fool. And you are the Fool. I am the Fool. We are all the Fool in our own life. And it tells the story of that Fool's journey. And within that story, we have chapters, which are the major arcana cards. And then we have the paragraphs and the sentences within those chapters, which are the minor arcana cards and the court cards. With that being said, there are a couple of chapters coming up into your life that we are ending and we are starting new. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about all of it. We have the Judgment card coming out, and the Judgment card is your first card here of divine timing. You see the angel wings there on that figure up here. There are 4 cards in the traditional tarot deck that depict these angel wings, and this is one of them. Those cards represent divine timing. So outside of the energies that Judgment brings, it also is a message of divine timing. Some of you might be going through some things in your life and you're wondering, when is this going to change, or when are things going to get better? But there's this sort of message that comes with Judgment that says, trust that your universe, your spirit team, and your ancestors want to see you succeed. They want to see you happy, and they want things to unfold in your favor. So trust in divine timing at this time. Outside of the divine messages, the divine timing messages that come with this card, there's also the energy of using your best judgment moving forward. Judgment is very much that. Using our judgment, using the power to discern between what feels right and what doesn't. Do I really want to go down this path, or do I not? Do I think that this is right, or do I think that this is wrong? And listening to that, allowing yourself to be bare with you, your very raw, open, honest version of yourself with yourself, to say that this is the right judgment call for me or not. This card also comes during a time where we need that reminder not to allow the judgment or opinions of others to slow us down. You know what's best for you. You can feel it in your gut. And if somebody is trying to tell you not to do something that you've been excited to do, well, I wouldn't be taking their opinion to heart right now, because again, it's your judgment that you get to use moving in your own journey of life. Then you have the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles represents this energy of knowing our worth, understanding our worthiness, looking out into our garden of life, all these pentacles around us, and seeing all the different things that we've planted, seeing the fruit that they bear in return, and maybe also seeing that there are a couple of weeds in our garden. If you think about our garden of life as all of our relationships, jobs, environments, experiences, all the different things that we tend to and we pour time, energy, and intention into our life, are there some things here that do not give anything in return? And I'm not talking about just this for that. I'm talking about energetic exchange. Are there things here that just take your energy, time, drain it without returning something in your life? And if there are, maybe it's time to weed those things out. Maybe it's time to get rid of those things, because again, you are worthy of having those plants in your life that if you tend to them, they also tend to you in return. Outside of that garden of life energy, she knows that what she puts out into the world, she has 3 pentacles on this side, 5 on this side. This is to prove that what she puts out, the energy she puts out, it comes back to her in some way. So remember your worth at this time. Remember that the things that you might be excited about, the things that you feel your best judgment is leading you to, is in alignment. You are worthy of all those things that you truly desire, and you shouldn't have to fight for them. Anything that feels like you have to fight, anything that rains on your parade, we're weeding it out with that Nine of Pentacles. Then you have the five of wands, excuse me, in the reversal, which is that card of not having to fight, right? When you see the five of wands in the upright, it's very much chaotic energy. This is a lot of tension, arguments, frustration, drama. Should I stay? Should I go? Internal conflict, this or that. Which way? Is this the right decision? Is it not? But when you see this in the reversal, it means that it's already happened. This energy, you're no longer entertaining it. We're not in a space where we're fighting for anything in our life anymore. We're in a time in our life where we're not even going to have this internal conflict. We are going to use our judgment. We're going to allow the judgment call to be loud and clear. We're going to know that our judgment is in alignment with our worthiness because, again, it's our own worthiness and judgment, and we're not going to fight that. We will allow ourselves to move forward towards the things that we truly desire, and I think that that in itself is wonderful. And as you continue to, what is the word I want to say, fully embrace it and embody it, I think you allow yourself to move forward into this new season of your life, feeling very confident and feeling very much like you're moving towards growth and success. The two cards with a lot of yellow here really do kind of go hand in hand. The more that you remember your worthiness, the more that you remember that you don't need to pour into things that do not return some sort of energetic exchange, the more you have personal growth. The color yellow in tarot represents growth. It represents victory, joy, fulfillment. And you start moving towards those things as you embody and embrace that Nine of Pentacles. The Chariot is exactly that. It's the cart or the energy that moves us into the next season. So it feels like there's the ending of a chapter here where maybe you did allow the opinions or judgments of other people to maybe sway your decisions, but you're not doing that anymore. You are trusting in divine timing, and if you're not trusting it, this is your sign to do so, right? So we're closing out this chapter of a time where maybe we were questioning divine timing. Maybe we were in people pleasing mode. Maybe we were consistently pouring into other people, or we were allowing the energies of tensions and fighting and drama to stay in our life. But now that we're removing that, the Chariot comes in and says, I'm taking you into the new chapter as you close this old one. And this new chapter is growth, success, victory, an energy of personal fulfillment with all of that yellow. The Chariot will take you towards your success, towards your happiness and fulfillment if you allow yourself to kind of leave all of this tension of that Five of Wands in the past. Remember that you are worthy of moving forward and having that growth. And as you get into this new season, as you move and settle into that new chapter and you're heading towards that victory, growth, and success, here comes the Knight of Cups, a new opportunity for emotional fulfillment. He is actually carrying the Ace of Cups, which I find very fitting because not only is he coming into your life, but he's also giving you the cup and you will accept that cup. And we'll talk about that in just a second. The Knight of Cups represents a new opportunity for emotional fulfillment coming into your life. Whether this is emotional fulfillment from a relationship, whether it's a friend or a new romantic partner, or an opportunity where we see ourselves as more loving and we recommit to our relationship to us. Maybe it has nothing to do with relationships because we get emotional fulfillment from so many things in our life, like our job and our projects and our hobbies and our living situations and our experiences. So there's something here that comes into our life that gives us an opportunity for more emotional fulfillment. And more than likely, it's going to take the space from something that you will weed out of your life in the very near future. Because if you picked this pile, more than likely you needed to hear that there's something here that you are pouring yourself into that does not deserve your energy anymore. And as you weed it out and you start moving forward and you allow yourself to not fight for it anymore, this Knight does come in like that knight in shining armor saying, here is a brand new opportunity for real emotional fulfillment, connection, and reciprocated energy, okay? And then you do take it. You do end up taking the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is you essentially reaching out and grabbing this opportunity from the Knight of Cups. Now, usually we're not lucky enough to see the Knight right before the Ace comes out, but all of the Knights do carry the Aces. They are the deliverer for the universe. This is the universe's hand essentially giving this to you, saying, all that emotional fulfillment, all of the moments of wanting to have the desired life that maybe you dream about, it's available to you. We just have to allow ourselves to understand, one, that we are worthy of it, two, allow ourselves to move forward towards it, even if that means we have to leave some stuff in the past, and three, allowing ourselves to just be present and dip our cup into the waters of over fulfillment, over joy, over happiness. All the ace cards do represent the brand new cycle or chapter within that element. And this is the element of water, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Now, if we do take a look here, the majority of the element that you have is water element here. And then because there's so much yellow, I will say that maybe there's also a little bit of fire energy. So you might have fire somewhere in your chart, but I do think that water seasons are going to be of importance to you, whether it's going to be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces season. That might be of importance. You might also have water somewhere in your chart, and that might be something to pay attention to. All of those planets do rule different aspects of our life. So pay attention to the water that might be in your birth chart and let that be a highlight of this entire conversation and reading. Maybe you have water in your Venus sign and there is a person in your life that you've been holding space for that doesn't deserve it anymore. And this is your inner judgment telling you that now is the time to remove that, weed it out, and start moving forward so you can have an opportunity for new love or new fulfillment in the near future. Okay. I want to go ahead and actually, we're going to do the love oracle first on this one, just because there's just a lot of messages that come with emotions and connections and fulfillment. Now, these love oracles do not have to just be about romantic love. They can be about any emotional connections and relationship, whether it's our relationship with friends, with family, our relationship to ourselves, right? So let's go ahead and call upon universe and spirit and see. We have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Some of you have been in a relationship for a little while now, and there is going to be some sort of engagement. So congratulations to you, and let us know in the comments if that is you. Outside of that energy, the engagement card comes out when there are things coming into our life that want to offer us a commitment. And I think that that's really important to mention because, again, a lot of this reading, especially the first 3 and even 4 cards here, come out and say that there might be some things in your life that you have been continuing to pour energy into that has never given the commitment. Allow yourself to release that and walk away from that so you can open up the door for a real commitment to come into your life. Commitment doesn't just have to be on a romantic level. It absolutely can be. So for those of you that are looking for love and you've been maybe going back and forth and having tensions within your current love life, this is your sign to move forward. Allow yourself to walk away from that and open the door for something new. But outside of love, we get commitment from business opportunities, getting a contract officially given to us, allowing ourselves to maybe be open to a promotion and having that commitment given to us. This can be a commitment in terms of a living situation. Maybe some of you have been trying to call in a new home. Maybe you want to purchase a home, or maybe you're just looking for a space that you know that you can stay for a long time. This is that lease, that commitment that's being offered to you. There's commitments that come in many different forms. And this is that sort of confirmation telling you that your commitment to many different things is right around the corner. So allow yourself to be open, to make the space for that commitment, and really allow yourself to start moving forward towards it because the Chariot wants to take you there. Your universe, like I mentioned earlier, your universe, spirit team, ancestors want to see you succeed. They want to see things unfold for you. So make the space and trust that the commitment and the engagements are coming into your life. Now let's go ahead and get the general oracle. Curious to see what comes out for the general oracle here for you. We are looking for a general oracle for the pile 2 or group 2 watchers and observers. We have the strength card. Look at that. I love this. Everything that you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. This is the strength to weed things out of your life that do not deserve your time and energy anymore. I think sometimes it's always easier said than done, right? It's easier said than done. It's easier to say that you are not worthy of my time, or this project is not worthy of my energy, or this job is not worthy of what I bring to the table. It's easy to say that, but it can be hard to walk away from it. It can be hard to weed the things out of our life that don't deserve our energy, time, and intention. But this card comes out as the reminder that you actually have the strength to walk away from those things. And not only do you have the strength to walk away from them, but you also have this sort of inner power that will be stoked and fueled by the Chariot moving forward. Tap into your inner strength. Some of you have Leo in your chart too, because there's that double yellow, and Leo season might be of importance as well. And actually, I think we will be posting this during Leo season. However, it is timeless. Either way, pull from that inner strength, pull from that inner courage to say, you know what? Yeah, I am going to call my worthiness. I am going to call my power back. I'm going to allow myself to make that space. And the things that are not worthy of my time and energy anymore, I know that I can overcome that. I'm going to get rid of that. There's better things waiting for me. I've gone through way worse trials and tribulations in my life, and I made it through. Not only did I make it through, but I made it through very strong, wise, and ready to go. So, yeah, I know that certain things are not worthy of my time, and I'm going to release that now. So, pull from that inner strength. Remember that. And let's go ahead and get your affirmation. This is going to be an affirmation that you can use over the next 7 to 14 days. Using the power of positive affirmation and talk can really change your life. You have I am wise. This is very much in alignment with the judgment card. I am wise. You might want to take a screenshot of this so that way you don't forget it. Try saying this every day for the next 7 to 14 days. I am wise. This is going to help you remember that your inner judgment is very much trying to guide you on the right path. Your inner judgment, your inner opinion is all that matters right now. Your inner wisdom, that inner compass, that inner knowing, the intuition, okay, is very much trying to guide you on a path of divine timing. So the things that are coming to an end, trust that they are meant to come to an end. The things that you feel are no longer worth fighting for, remove them from your life. Know that you are wise enough to step into the chariot and start moving forward into your life and open up the pathway for the new commitments, the new opportunities for emotional fulfillment to come in. And if you don't feel like you can do it, if you don't feel like you're strong enough to, take a deep breath and remember who you are, because you are strong enough to do it. You are strong enough to remember who you are. You've been through so many different things in your life and you've overcome them wise, strong, and bright, that all that inner wisdom is guiding you down this path for a reason right now. So this is a very empowering reading, and I hope that you found some sort of clarity and guidance with it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you decided that you couldn't just choose one reading in this video, we are going to move into the pile 3. Before we do, if you have not liked this video, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Come and join our YouTube Ohana, and we are going to get ready to move into the pile 3. Much aloha. If you chose pile 3, this is your tarot reading. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start shuffling here. We're going to ask Universe, Spirit, and Tarot to bring forth any messages, insight, or guidance that you need to hear at this time. We're going to do a 3-card spread, and we will also be pulling a love oracle, a general oracle, as well as an affirmation that you can use for the next 7 to 14 days. So we're just going to go ahead and let these messages come through for the pile 3 or group 3 choosers and observers. Here we go. Oh, okay. We have a couple cards kind of flipping here. Let's take those and let's shuffle. We'll ask Universe and Spirit for one more card. So far, we are seeing 2 Knight cards and an Empress. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. We will finish this shuffle, and then we will move into the messages. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. Really great energies. We have the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups in reversal, and then the Empress card. So you can see that we have 2 Knights coming out here immediately off the bat. You know, the Knight cards really represent how we move forward. When we talk about all 4 Knight cards in the tarot deck, it's the thing that moves us from the lower court cards into the higher court cards. It takes us from the energy of curiosity and sort of that young, immature, yet fun, loving energy into the more mature energy of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. When we talk about the immature of the page cards, which are the cards right before the Knight cards, that immature energy of the page cards doesn't necessarily mean immaturity in a bad way. It means that sort of curiosity that comes from the almost kind of innocence of life before the real world really hits us. And then the Knight takes us from that into this sort of evolved version of ourselves, which is the divine feminine and the divine masculine. We have both of those within us. And so this is that bridge. This is how we move forward. This is how we allow ourselves to go from that one sort of energy or chapter into our life into feeling a little bit more like we are becoming the sort of masters and nurturers of certain areas of our life. So I like seeing that we have two Knight cards here, because if you did choose this pile, it represents we're kind of going through this evolution right now. We're going through this period where we are starting to move forward. We're starting to allow ourselves to be able to gain some momentum. We might have a little bit of a bump in the road here, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But it's nice to see that you are currently moving through a pretty big evolution into an Empress energy, which is absolute divine. So let's go ahead and dive in. We have the Knight of Wands coming out as the first card in this reading. And like I mentioned, all of these knights, they're always going to be on these horses. And some of the horses you can see all their feet are on the ground. Other ones, they are galloping quickly. And this Knight of Wands, he is the second fastest knight in the deck. He does move forward very passionately. He embodies the energy of fire, and fire is going to be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But outside of the zodiac, because I don't necessarily think that that has any real meaning here, you have pretty much every element coming out in this reading. The element of fire represents confidence. It represents passion. It represents this energy of excitement and forward momentum, and just having that sort of inner flame really burning bright, shining the light on the steps that we are taking, and just feeling really, motivated to do so. This Knight of Wands, he uses all of that energy to move himself forward. He is excited for the next chapter in his life. So he says, I'm getting on my horse and I'm going there. I can't wait to see what I'm going to experience. I can't wait to see the new people that I'm going to meet in my life. And so he allows that excitement to take him to the next level. He's passionate about things. Maybe there is a hobby or some sort of project that you have that gets you excited, that gets you passionate, that passionate energy of love and excitement, and just all of that fiery sort of feelings. It drives him. And so you're in this space right now where maybe a lot of you have this inner flame and you have this sort of inner fire and this confidence, and maybe you want to move forward and you are moving forward, but we're having a hard time finding the balance between that and, just keeping our emotions in check, keeping our emotions balanced, not allowing our emotions to get the best of us. But I think it's really important to continue holding this energy of the Knight of Wands, even if it feels like sometimes you are having a hard time maybe keeping your emotions balanced, right? The Knight of Cups is the card of emotions, okay? And this card also represents emotional connections and opportunities coming into your life. I think right now there's an energy here of focusing on what gets you excited, focusing on what you are personally planning and doing with your life, the things that really get you fired up and motivated to go, versus looking into other people, looking into what comes from the emotional relationships or offers from other people. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Now, when you see a reversal in a tarot reading, it does represent something that has already happened, or there might be a slight challenge or obstacle preventing you from seeing this in its upright position. And the Knight of Cups in the upright position is a little bit slower of an energy. This is something that comes in a little bit more slowly, a little bit more regulated. It feels not so exciting and fast-paced and fast-going. But it's this sort of offering that comes in of something that brings emotional fulfillment. This is something that makes us feel emotionally fulfilled. We get emotional fulfillment from so many different things in our life. It doesn't just have to be romantic emotions. Obviously, it can be, okay? And for those of you that have been really focused on romantic relationships, I would say this is a reading right here that tells you to slow down and not even focus on those romantic relationships right now, to focus more in on your inner fire, your inner flame. What are the things that you are extremely passionate and excited for in your own personal life? Because once we get into the Empress, you'll understand a little bit more by, why I'm saying this. But having a Knight of Cups in reversal with a Knight of Wands in the upright, it's like, let's start moving forward towards our goals, towards our dreams, our projects, and not necessarily so focused in on a relationship or finding our twin flame or calling in our soulmate, or when is the next person coming in, or when are they going to propose, or how are we going to get out of this slum when it comes to potential a potential low within a romantic relationship. There's an energy here of not focusing so hard on romantic relationships because this is in the reversal. Outside of all the romantic energy that could potentially come with this card, there is emotional fulfillment that comes from all the different areas in our life. So if you've been finding yourself not so much emotionally fulfilled as maybe you wanted, let's take a step back and look at some of the other areas of our life. Let's look at your job. Is there emotional fulfillment there? And if there's not, how can we maybe find emotional fulfillment there? How can we maybe open up some doorways to kind of create this space to have more fulfillment within our career? Now, let's look at our living situation. Does your living situation get you excited? Does it get you feeling like you could be your true self there? Does it feel like a sanctuary? Or is your living situation bringing anxiety? Is this something that doesn't feel like a safe space? And if it is that way, how can we maybe make some realistic changes in our day to day life that create it to be a little bit more of a sanctuary? Let's go ahead and take a look at our projects. Do you feel like you're doing more in your life than just getting up and surviving? How can we start to feel like we're not only surviving, but we're also thriving and allowing ourselves to explore things that genuinely just make us happy for no real reason? This Knight of Cups is a lot of that energy. It's taking that time, looking within and asking yourself, where is the emotional fulfillment lacking in my life outside of romantic relationships? And how can I start creating the opportunity for it to become a reality? We have the Empress, and the Empress is not only the most attractive card in the entire tarot deck, but she's the creator in the tarot deck. You see this crown here? This crown has these stars on it, and those stars represent her direct connection to her higher self, to the cosmos, to her universe. It's this energy that she can kind of open up her mind, think about what she wants, call it down, and birth it into reality. We talk about fertility with this card, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be fertility like we're birthing a baby. It's fertility in a sense of we have this opportunity right now to create anything we want in our life, and you have the opportunity to do that. The Empress, like I mentioned, is the most attractive card in the tarot deck, and when we talk about attraction with the Empress, it's not just attraction on the outside. Of course, it has something to do with that, and if you chose pile 3, more than likely you are a very attractive person, and people are naturally attracted to you. If you wanted to, make a social media presence, just know that that might be on your side. If you go out and about, people are probably looking at you, and it's not for a bad way. It's because you might have these sort of attractive features that genuinely people look at. They see you as attractive. But outside of the outer attraction, there is that internal attraction. And that internal attraction is like the law of attraction, right? She flips that switch on and she magnetizes the things into her life that she truly desires, whether it's in an opportunity or whether it's in a conversation or whether it's in a connection or a network, whether it is just coming up with the idea on how to make it a reality. She uses that internal law of attraction to her best benefit. So if you don't know about the law of attraction, it's a perfect time to dive into that because you have this energy of the Empress who is the creator and uses her absolute attraction on the outside and the inside in combination connection to really start birthing things into her life that she truly desires. So if we're looking at all 3 of these cards kind of as your current energy and story and where you're heading, there is this sort of like internal maybe bubbling that's happening of excitement for your future. There is this energy of like, you want all of these things, you want to experience things, you want to be able to be in a position where you feel like you're the Empress, but maybe our focus is a little bit distracted. Maybe our focus is out of focus. Maybe we need to take a moment, breathe, and look within. Ask ourselves, where is the emotional fulfillment? Where are the things that I'm maybe not feeling absolutely 100% with? And how can I step into my Empress energy and maybe create those things in my life? So when that moment comes where all these new chances start getting brought into my life, chances for relationships, jobs, opportunities for personal evolution, new living situations, whatever it is, you are ready for it. You are in this space where you're like, yes, I've created this sort of internal energy. I've created this sort of life and this mindset and this view and all of these different avenues and things that now I can really use that really will come in handy for me. Let's go ahead and get your general oracle. Let's get a general oracle and kind of see what else is building in this reading for you. Because right now, this is such an empowering reading. I think it's just telling you to take a deep breath, really embrace and embody that excitement and that fire of the Knight of Wands, but also not get too hooked up or hung up on just one thing, because right now you are the creator of your reality. You are the creator of your universe. So use your Empress energy, step into it and believe that you are. You have the Yoga card. Your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercising. Now, this does not have to just be yoga traditionally. Of course, if you're watching this and you've been, really feeling like you do need to move your body, that you do need to get back into a yoga practice, or maybe you just feel like part of the emotional fulfillment that you might get from life has to do with your physical body, then this might just be that sort of confirmation for you for saying, like, put your physical body higher on your priority list. Get excited for maybe the things that you'll be able to do, or the way that you'll be able to feel, or the clothes that you can wear as you become that empress in your physical body. Outside of that, this is the only card out of all the decks that I use that have the chakra points on them. And so maybe there is this sort of energy because we talk about emotional fulfillment. Let's take a look at our chakras. Do you feel that there's a disconnect from your root chakra? Do you feel like you're actually grounded in things? Is there a disconnect from the solar plexus? Have there been some emotional traumas that we've stored there? Let's take a look at our throat chakra. Are there some emotional traumas here that have kept us from, speaking our truth and speaking it loud? Take a moment and maybe look at all of your chakra points and maybe just kind of do a little bit of a self-attunement. And if you don't know how to do that, there's so many resources out here. And you can always go over to my website, get a little spiritual mentorship, and we could talk about it. It's just, there's this energy here that just says that maybe there are some little places where there hasn't been the emotional fulfillment or the emotional happiness that we have wanted or needed. And we're in an opportunity right now where we can maybe unblock that, release that, and not only unblock and release it, but make it to where we're using that law of attraction and creator energy of the Empress to our best benefit. Now let's go ahead and get our love oracle. Now these love oracles do not have to just represent romantic love. They can represent all emotions and relationships in our life, our relationship to ourselves, our friends, our family, obviously romantic partners as well. We have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Now I do feel like for some of you, there was this sort of underlying message on here saying, don't focus so hard on romantic love. Focus in a little bit more on your reality, your dreams, your goals, and make that happen. And I think maybe this does have a little bit to do with those of you that resonate with that. Keep an open mind, because maybe the soulmate that you're trying to call in might show up and look different than what you originally thought. Keep an open mind in all aspects of your life right now, not just romantic love. I think when you have an Empress energy like this, and there is a card of telling you to take a look at different things and where maybe some happiness is lacked, but where can we use our forward momentum, confidence, and fire to push us forward? There are going to be these little glimmers that your spirit team kind of give you, that you are creating as well, that we might miss if we don't keep an open mind. Keep an open mind in general. Maybe going to that coffee shop that you usually wouldn't go to ends up leading into a conversation with someone that becomes your best friend. Maybe that person that asked you out on a date that usually wouldn't be the type that you would say yes to, you give them a chance and they end up being that soulmate. Maybe a job that you didn't really think that you would ever want to do or that you would feel comfortable doing ends up being the best job that you ever had in your life. Allow yourself to take a chance, to keep an open mind, and to know that all these different opportunities that might be coming into your life, you are co-creating them with your universe. So get clear on what you want. Understand that your fire right now is really being pulled down. There's like this energetic sort of line that's going all the way from your root chakra all the way up, out through your crown, into your cosmos, and back down. Use that. Figure out how you're going to connect with that and really tap into that law of attraction over the next couple of weeks. Now let's go ahead and get your affirmation that you can use for the next 7 to 14 days. I really love using the affirmations and just using the power of positive talk to create in our life. So let's go ahead and get an affirmation here. This is going to be an affirmation for the pile 3 or group 3 choosers and observers. Affirmation for the next 7 to 14 days. Let's get an affirmation for group 3. I have the power to change my destiny. This is exactly what we've been talking about this entire time. You do have the power to change your destiny. Take a screenshot of this. Try and say this every day for the next 7 to 14 days and believe it. I think this also comes with like that inner fire of saying, like, I do have the power to change my destiny. Get excited. Ride that wave of excitement that comes from this sort of realization. Use that power or that fire to tap into your inner Empress and say, okay, I know that I have the power to change my destiny. So what am I going to do? What are the changes I'm going to make? And that's where that Knight of Cups in reversal comes into play. Take a moment, look at everything that's going on in your life and ask yourself, where can I have a little bit more fulfillment? Where am I not fully happy with my life? What are some of the things that I would like to plant, the changes I would like to make, and what does the ultimate dream life look like? Take a moment and maybe connect with the, energetic points of your life. Ask yourself, are there some traumas or experiences there that you're still holding that you can release now? And what kind of experiences would you like to have in the future? Keep an open mind that anything that you want, you can actually create, and you do have the power to do so. So I really love this. Take a screenshot and try your best to remember to say that as often as possible over the next 7 to 14 days. I do think that this is a very empowering reading. I think all three readings have been very empowering today. And I want to say thank you so much for being here. If you are still watching this, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And I really hope that maybe you'll like this video and consider subscribing to our channel. It really helps me out. And we love expanding our YouTube Ohana here. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can always go to themagicsiren.com. The updated promo code is in the description box below. There are links to our Patreon, to our weekly podcast, and so much more. So I hope that you take a moment and just look down there and see what we have going on. Other than that, I appreciate you so much for being here. And I hope that you come across another pick a pile reading from me soon. With lots of aloha, I will see you in the next one. Aloha.